Hello there, welcome to another episode. In this episode, I'd like to discuss about salaries, and especially salaries when you're looking at it from a interviewer's or getting a new job point of view. So, do like do new employers, or should they be asking you what your previous salary was in your previous organization or business? So there's several different kind of complications here that you got to look at. So basically, whenever a new employee is needed within an organization, the organizational management will be looking at how much this person can be paid versus how much the return that they will get on that investment. Because I don't care who you are an investment that a company makes. So on that investment, they want a return on it. So they'll have a budget set aside. Now, generally, they'll have a budget of maximum of up to this much. So they may put the description in the article of, let's say, they have a budget of £30,000, anything between £20,000 to £30,000, depending on experience. And that's sort of like a gauge of where they want to be. So they've allowed for a maximum of £30, but obviously they want to get value for money on an investment. So if you can get someone cheaper, then you've not only saved on that investment, but you're going to get more in return. But it's also come out now that basically job seekers and also like national statistics and everything like that, and especially the lack of current availability of people, businesses have got to start looking a little bit more savvy about how they do what they do and how they approach their interview techniques. So they did a survey of 2,200 working adults, found that 47% of people were asked about their previous salary. So that's nearly half, let's just call it half, have been asked about a previous salary. And in a weird sort of like side note to that, 61% of women said that the question had an impact on their confidence to negotiate for better pay. So it affected their ability to ask and demand more money because they'd already set, let's use the example before, like you have a job that goes up to £30,000 and you find out this person or employee was paid £21,000 before. If you pay them £24,000, that's still an increase of £3,000 a year, and you save yourself £6,000. So, but then on the back end of that, if you're willing to spend up to £30,000 and you deem them completely qualified for what you need them to do, you can pay them up to £30,000. Would you get more return on investment if you paid them more than less? So like either way, they're going to get a pay rise disregarding, because some people leave for money. I've left for money for different jobs in my career, not necessarily better environments, but definitely a more in the wage packet versus. But again, that was a mistake on my part, and I'm not going to sit here telling you that you shouldn't leave for money, you should just leave for environment, and because I don't know your personal circumstances, and you could need to leave for money. I'm not knocking that you should, but I honestly don't see the point in even asking that, because if you have, let's say, 10 years worth of experience in an industry, or 5 years worth of experience in an industry, you're going to discover that within the interview. You're going to see their CV, you're going to talk to the person, you're going to get a gauge of what their knowledge is. So the knowledge of the 5 years could be exactly the same as the knowledge of the 10 years. But because they've only been working 5 years, do they deserve less than the 10 years if the knowledge is exactly the same? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. It's just, I can't seem to understand why or how you could even say that you've got less experience, even though you're just as knowledgeable and you will earn us the same return on investment, but we're going to pay you less. Because if you pay this individual more, they're more likely to stay anyway. they're more likely to give more anyway. They're more likely to be invested in your organisation and to see it succeed. And if they are outperforming what they should be, then when they get a pay rise, it doesn't matter whether they work harder or whether they work smarter, they will invest more in your business. So they will continue to make you more money. So maybe starting off with the larger salary is good. And some people argue about, it's transparency and, you should know what they were earning before. It doesn't matter what they were earning before, because you're not going to get them to work in that place anymore. You want them to work in your organisation. So you want them to be part of your organisation, so you set the standards within your organisation, you set the budgets for your organisation, and if you're better than the competition, not only in salary but in environment, you will attract the best kind of staff. And everybody is working for a pay packet. Even business owners that have built something up from scratch, they're working so they can live to a certain level within their life. So it's just, again, I found this quite interesting, and I'd never really thought about it before, of how that kind of thing happens and interacts in an interview. And I've been asked it in every single job I've ever applied for, and every interview I've ever gone to, they've always asked about my previous salary. But yeah, I just wondered what your thoughts were. Comment in the section below, actually, if you've had any questions like this and how it's made you feel. But yeah, I hope you found this episode interesting, and I'll catch you in the next one.